Garen Roderick is the referee in charge of this game. This is the best of 5 sets.
So here we go, an outstanding match in prospect. Scott Mitchell completing his walk-on by hurling that toy dog out into the audience. Leighton Bennett looks as though he's about 6 inches taller than when he won the World Youth title last year. Scott Sands 6'4", and Leighton, well, he's well over 6 foot now. Big lad for a 14-year-old.
Yeah, he's grown up on and off the hockey in the last 12 months.
Leighton to throw first. Game on.
A lot of support there. He had his management team behind him. A lot of support.
Saw Rob Cross on the walk-in. Comes from the same management team.
59.
Former PDC world champion. I'll tell you one thing I anticipate here, Tony. I don't know what your thoughts would be on it.
100.
Leighton likes to get a move on. I suspect that you won't see Scott Mitchell hurrying in any sense of the word.
Well, that's one of the things about his game the last couple of years. He slowed it down a bit. He's involved with a sports psychologist who I think was involved in helping him slow down and just try and pace his game. But it worked for him for a few years because he's had a great, I'd say a few years, some great performances, became world champion, and maybe that's something to do with it. He certainly won't rush him.
57.
He's a farmer, of course, by profession. Is Scott down in Dorset with wife Sharon. Once upon a time he was a competitive motocross man and a decent footballer, I'm told.
We've done a few charity football matches in Holland, England versus Holland, just the dart players.
95.
And yeah, he's played in goal for us a couple of times. And that wasn't a joke, by the way. He is quite a really good goalkeeper.
60.
Leighton, I think, probably has thrown more practice darts since we've been in this building than anybody else. As Paul was saying, he was first here this morning,
60.
practicing. And you can't really keep him off those practice boards. But he needs 59. To start finding some trebles.
Scott, you require 106.
Mitchell 106 for a break of throw. How he'd like to capitalise on a slightly tentative start from young Leighton.
50. $60.
He's not settled.
Scott, you require 56.
Again, a fairly loose visit. 56 for tops for Mitchell. Should be a decent marker.
16.
That first one actually moved the
Leighton,
wire.
You require 146.
Still to find their edge yet, young Leighton. There's plenty of time. It is only the first leg.
$98. Scott, you
So
require
tops
40.
again for Mitchell. Won't want to lose that opportunity, and he turns it over. First leg to the former champion.
Second leg is Scott to throw first. Game on.
Trouble is, there's been so much hype about young Leighton. I mean, we forget how young he really is. Became the youth world champion last year. Played fantastic on that Lakeside stage.
140.
This is something totally different.
Well, nobody really knew him last year, apart from those really entrenched in the
60.
county game. He'd won the Cambridgeshire at the age of 12. But he was really, people were raving about him, but we'd not really seen him. There wasn't the expectation. Now people are expecting him to really give Scott Mitchell a game.
Well, that's actually the problem. I mean, he burst onto the scene at the Lakeside, played brilliant. Such a character, obviously, the way he jumped around the stairs, and people loved him for that. Such freedom 58. In his game. year down the line, obviously he has improved. He's done well in all the senior tournaments, qualified here by rights. But it is still so early in his career. He's got so much time. It's
60.
It's just fantastic to see him here.
This year got to the final of the Luxembourg Open and the semis of the Welsh, the French, the German, the Antwerp, the Polish, so he's had some success.
96.
All against the seniors. But, whatever happens tonight, he's still got a game on Saturday. He's in the World Youth Final again against young Keane Barry, who's ripping up trees as well, so that's something to look forward to anyway.
We'll be bringing you coverage of that final, of course, on Saturday.
97.
So 74 for 2-0 for Mitchell.
74.
Good Peaky Blinders hat.
Treble 14 will be going for the first start. Bit wide, but single 20 and the topped.
54.
He'll be back though, Bennett on 190.
$81. Scott, you require 20.
So double 10 now. Solid leg again from Scott Mitchell.
Third leg is late in the throw first.
Settled into this match very much quicker.
Yeah, but there was signs from Leighton there that he's starting to find that range. As I was saying,
180.
He can play. Maximum number 1. Maybe the first of a few.
Yeah, and then first couple of legs, as we saw, there was some high, some low.
100.
Just take a few legs coming from the back room where the practice boards are. They're totally different. The lighting's different. Feels probably shorter in the back room. You're on the big stage. Maybe it takes a while, but he's certainly finding it now. He's a lot closer
60.
to that treble 20, as we saw there after that celebration.
You watch him up there and you think he'd be really full of it. It's a cocky lad, but he's actually quite shy when you talk to him.
Off the hockey, definitely, yeah, but I mean, you should never take the character away from a player. If that's what you like on stage, go for it. He's in again here.
140.
Definitely finding his rage. He's the young man from Lincolnshire.
60.
Fine counting.
You require 121.
Darts Virgins. Goodness. 121. Treble 17 would leave the bull, but not this time.
57.
He's down to 64 after 12. Scott's only halfway through the leg there. 2-4-1 after 9. Should be a lot closer after this.
125.
Well, young Leighton needs to get this one away
64.
now. 64 needs to get into this match. Tops. This is his opportunity to take his first leg,
24.
but no.
Scott, you require 116.
When he won his world title a few years ago, this was the best part of his game. The finishing was awesome. He wants double 18 for the set.
First set.
And that was tremendous finishing from Mitchell. 116 to check out. Leighton Bennett looked as though he'd got a great chance there, had 64 to clinch it, couldn't take it, and
Second
now
set,
Mitchell is ahead 1-0.
Game on.
Lost in the quarterfinals last year to Jim Williams, Scott Mitchell.
97.
When he won in 2015, he had that terrific tussle with Wolfie. 7-6, including a 158 checkout in the deciding leg.
140.
Well, as I was saying, that was sort of the best part of his game at the time. His finishing was fantastic. He's just showed us that lovely 116 finish.
100.
Lost his dad last year, Scott, who is always very, very close to, and I know that hit him hard. Told you he wouldn't be rushing around.
81.
He wasn't exactly zooming back to behind the hockey there. He told me it was actually, I know he might have taken psychological advice or whatever, but he told me it was initially Bobby George who'd said to him, you know, when you go and get your
84.
darts, there's no rule about how fast you have to be. If you want to take your time, take your time.
Bobby's a wise old man of darts. I remember when John Boy Walton won his world title, I think it was 2000. Bobby George was playing pairs with John in them days and gave him some advice on a few aspects of the game, and 12 months later John was world champion and probably won 14 events that year. He was the best player on the planet in 2000. He was awesome.
59. Scott, you require 120.
So 120. Shanghai for the holder throw. Now needs the treble 20. Not this time, so a squeak of an opportunity for young Leighton.
100.
Celebrated his 14th birthday on New Year's Eve.
Scott, you require 20.
Double 10 needed.
Game shot on the first leg.
And
Scott
the
Mitchell. Second leg is Leighton to throw first.
Perfect progression continues. 4 legs out of 4, and he's 1 up in the second set.
100.
Yeah, he's looking solid on his finishing.
$60.
Think she noticed she was on television.
45.
You have to resist that temptation and that feeling, don't you, when you're up there with Matt Smith?
Well, it sounds easy, but a few tournaments in Holland, I've been in the crowd watching the game after I've been beaten, obviously, and the camera comes on you, and I was just the same. You can't help it sometimes. You see yourself on the big screen. I've done exactly the same as that young lady then screamed out.
43.
It's great to see yourself on telly.
Mitchell a chance of stealing another one here against the throw.
100.
Ahead once more.
$59. $100.
Scott was favourite to win this one, but not. He wasn't a huge, overwhelming favourite. There were a fair few who thought
Scott,
that Leighton could give him trouble. He might do still, you never know.
$60. Leighton, you require 160.
So 160 for Bennett. Come on, young lad. No, not to be.
100. Scott, you require 81.
Bullseye. Yes, well done.
Second leg.
Quality
Scott
darts.
Great finishing again.
Third leg is Scott to throw
2014
first.
champion.
Game on.
Well, he said the challenge here, Scott, was to play the game and to play his opponent as though he was 48, never mind 14.
60.
Terrific darts.
$59.
Not quite happening for young Leighton. Maybe not a bad thing. He'll have a break after this leg if Scott was to win it.
There's the averages. Scott Mitchell, 87.5. Young Leighton not really doing himself justice so far. 78.17. And he's looking just a little bit sorry for himself, Tony.
Yeah. Scott wins this leg, like I say. Just said a minute ago, the break might come at a good time for the young man. Just get in the back room.
60.
I'm sure his team will be in there waiting for him. Have a little chat, put an arm round him. Let's go again after the break.
I'm sure Rob Cross will be there somewhere. He'll be having one or two words of advice, I'm sure.
85.
Yeah, he was early this morning practicing, was young Leighton. It just proves that you can plan for everything and perfect your expectations and be ready for it 100%. You get on the stage, sometimes it just doesn't happen.
And experience counts for a lot. And Scott
59.
Mitchell has an awful lot of it. Not only has he played in these big BDO events, he's played in the Grand Slam on several occasions.
And played very well. Looked right home at the Grand Slam. Treble 19, leaves in 62, but he's got plenty of time. Treble 10 probably.
49.
Time on his side, 52 when he comes back.
You talk about experience, John. You can't buy that stuff. Can't buy it.
140.
Well, you know all about that. I mean, playing in front of a crowd, a big crowd, instead of just playing floor events, the difference is huge. Tops, there it is. 3-0. Talented German, Michael Unterbuchner.
First leg is Leighton to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's never over.
As Gary Robson would tell you, he was 2-0 up.
Exactly.
59.
We've seen a couple of them, John, to be honest. The comebacks. This would be the most surprising and amazing one if it happens.
60. $140.
Will the break serve Leighton Bennett well? He'll have tried to get off the stage and regroup, and as we said, he'll have had some words of advice from his team.
Yeah, he's got 60. A great team behind him. Management and sponsors.
$78. $140. $60.
And Scott's wife with the spectacles on, Sharon.
Yeah, she doesn't really like the limelight. She wasn't on the walk-on.
60.
Nice to hide in the crowd.
Leighton, you require 164.
Childhood sweethearts, weren't they?
Lovely story. Lovely family, actually. Katie was on 46. The walk-on there. She's a Dorset County player herself. Really good player as well. Sam was a great player, but these days he's give up the darts. He does a lot on the farm, obviously. It's a family business.
170.
Goodness me. Well, I think he'd have preferred to have had the 25 there, which would have left him 36. But 11's not a bad consolation prize. 118 then for Leighton. Good first start. Tops.
98.
Oh dear, he didn't get close.
No, something like that might just have fired him up, actually. He needs something like that. It's 3-4 for the former champion.
3.
Now, Bennett has got to take this.
Leighton, you require 20.
Double 10 for his first leg of the match. Yes, he's done it.
On the first leg, Leighton Bennett.
Well, look at that response from the crowd just for one leg.
First. Game on.
Can you imagine how crazy they go if he got back into the match properly?
He's trying to rev up the crowd.
60.
A smile from Scott, who will take his time, ambling back to his mark.
$140.
That was the trademark celebration from when he won the Youth World title last year. Real little firework on the stage that game. A brilliant game of darts.
60.
Let's see if he can carry on the good work. Won his first leg and followed it with a ton 40 on his first visit.
60.
They were 3 good darts, to be honest. Not much reward.
$100.
I think he wants them to celebrate.
140.
Good darts again. Ton 40, 60, ton 40. He's on the finish.
$60.
And Scott Mitchell isn't.
161.
So big chance of a break of throw.
$97.
That'll do him for now. We'll leave 64.
$60. Later you require
64 for 2-0 for a break of throw. His first break of throw of the match. Beckoning. Another one. And that's perfect.
Leighton Bennett.
Well, his first leg of the match was quickly followed by his first break.
Game on.
Is that going to be quickly followed by his first set? I'm saying it just needed something to fire him up. And obviously winning that first leg has worked.
57.
There's a bit more of a spring in his step now. And again, a little wry smile from Scotty.
60.
I know what they were going to tell him. Be as quick as you like, but wait your time. Don't be waiting on Scott Mitchell's shoulder for him to get out of the way. Wait for him to move, then get up there and throw as fast as you like.
Perfect advice.
97.
Wasn't mine, I hasten to add.
As we've just seen there, disappeared to the table for a drink. And he's doing it, he's biding his time, he's hanging back. But once he actually releases the first dart, he's back into his normal routine.
And throwing another solid ton 40. He started to motor. Maybe we've still got a match. The darts. Another maximum for Mitchell.
And Scott nearly raised an eyebrow with that 180. Never shows much emotion.
He's not on a finish. Scott Mitchell.
79.
But he can make big inroads here and make that 128 a must take. A couple of trebles that help the cause. Well, a ton's not bad.
100. Leighton, you require 128.
And these are the sort of things he's been doing for fun all day. Treble 20 will leave him a bullseye. He's hit that treble 20 for the set. He wants the little red bit in the middle.
95.
And dragged it and missed by a
66.
big distance. Mitchell 66 to punish. He's got the treble 10 for double 18.
30.
Oh, you can't get any nearer.
Leighton, you require 33.
Looked like Scott Mitchell's mini-me, that, didn't he? But it's not a relation, I don't think. double 6.
21.
That might be a chance which he will regret. This time?
No score. Leighton, you require 12.
Young man, in your step. 3 darts for the set, your first set.
Six.
Nobody likes it, nobody.
Scott, you require 36.
Double 3 missed, and so Mitchell back on double 18. Double 9. Well,
27.
Bennett gets yet another chance to close out this set. Will he go 2 double 2?
Leighton, you require 6.
Well, I would, and probably most others. Depends how he feels.
Double 2 it is.
A shot
And he's taken a set. His first set in senior competition. And I think he's rather enjoyed it.
4 set, first leg is Scott to throw first. Game on.
A little smile from Scott. He might not be smiling quite so much if he takes another set.
Well, as we said, there's been some comebacks this week already. And all of a sudden,
40.
the doubles are drying up a touch, and now the trebles are as well.
Only averaging just over 83. Scott Mitchell, which by his standards is pretty poor. There's the doubles. Mitchell with a better conversion rate. Can't find the trebles.
$26.
As I said, no matter what happens in this game, he's going to learn so much, his young Leighton. Think about it, he's probably got 30, 35, even 40 more years in the game. That's scary when you think about it, isn't it?
How good might he become? Well,
60.
Time will tell. If you were to speak to him right now, he'd say, I'm not playing at my best by a long way.
$140.
Ton 40, that's his first ton 40 for a while. Puts him on a finish.
$101. Scott, you require 161.
Oh, I wonder.
$97.
Won't be disappointed with that. 97, leaves him 64.
$60. Scott, you require 64.
64 to go ahead in this 4th set. Double 16.
A shot
And nicely turned away.
Mitchell. Second leg is Leighton to throw first. Game on.
Mitchell ahead. Only needs 2 more legs for a place in the next round, and that last 16 match against the German Mikhail Unterbuchner.
135. $60.
There was the winning dart of the previous leg.
$28. 100.
Bennett still with the advantage.
$100.
I wonder how much he's enjoying the experience.
Well, I know from past experience when I've spent a bit of time with Leighton at various events, he just loves playing darts. He loves the practice. He loves everything about the game. Even though things aren't going his way today, I'm sure he's still enjoying it. But he's part of a new breed of young dart players. They just love to play darts.
$58.
Good dance.
140.
On his finish, and another break is a possibility. Bennett can do no more than put some pressure on, needs a treble,
60.
and doesn't find it, so
Scott
101 for 2-0.
When he became world champion, these was the sort of finishes he rattled off time after time.
49.
He's not nailed it dead yet.
Leighton, you require 120.
Leighton with the Shanghai on the 20.
Treble, single, double. Sounds simple when you say it like that. And he can't do it.
60.
So 52 now for Scott Mitchell for 2-0.
52.
Leading 2 sets to 1. Tops he needs. Double 10.
32.
Bennett another chance.
Leighton, you require 60.
Got a bit excited then, double 10.
He's on the
Does it
second
nicely.
leg. Leighton Bennett.
Exhibition stuff from the young man.
Third leg is Scott to throw first. Game on.
He's so young, I mean, obviously youth world champion. He's actually been doing quite a lot of exhibitions the last 12 months as well.
59.
All part of the learning curve as a professional dart player.
You do pay tax when you're 13, don't you? Do you? I don't know how it works, to be honest. I never really earned anything when I was that age. Apart
With his
I was doing a paper round and that.
with his career, he must have one piggy bank.
Good dance.
140.
I think he's enjoying himself, isn't he? Go on, go for it.
91.
It's not a dangerous game, is it? Darts supporting. Why has he got safety glasses on?
162.
Great darts again. Following up his ton 40 with a ton 62. So 9 darts down to 140 for Mitchell.
60. Scott, you require 140.
Can't finish, but he's a long way clear.
100. $140. Scott, you require 40.
Tops then for 2-1. He's not finding these doubles as habitually as sometimes, but this time he gets it right and gets his nose ahead. One more leg needed and Scott Mitchell's through.
$93.
Yeah, I was just thinking there, his natural game's a really fast game. He's tried doing it sensibly, he's tried doing it the right way tonight as young Leighton. Just slow down and wait for Scott But it's unnatural for him, this sort of game. When he's playing on the floor events and then all them events where he's got to semis and quarters,
97.
he'd have been allowed to play at his own natural speed. But these are one of the things you've got to learn in the professional game.
There's always a few people who get on Scott's back saying,
60.
you know, it's gamesmanship, making him play more slowly than he would choose to, but it's not gamesmanship, it's part of the game, isn't it?
It's all part of the game.
100.
And it's something you have to learn to deal with over the years. You might not like it, but you've got to get on with it. But at least he's tried thinking about the game tonight, young Leighton. He has slowed down and waited till Scott's well away from the board. Normally be right up behind him, ready to throw 3 darts now, but he's thinking about the game. It's a learning curve.
97.
He's still not finished yet. Still got a chance of taking this leg, and you never know. That's great darts. Quality.
Leighton, you require 140.
You might have to get this 114.
Well, he's more than capable. The treble 18 will leave him tops. 76 left.
43. Scott, you
loose last
require
arm.
76.
76. He's looking at treble 20. Single, so 56 remaining. Oh, he wanted the 16. He's annoyed at that. A loose one into 8, so Bennett gets another opportunity which 44. He might not have anticipated. 71.
I probably didn't think it. That's 71. Why that last dart was a bit loose. I still fancy this though. Treble 13.
Good dart.
32.
55.
Was he just a wee bit rushed on that?
32.
Double 16, Mitchell. He likes that.
Shot.
Does he ever?
Scott